Okay. Let's do this. Can we hide cursor anyway? I'm not actually sure. Give me a sec. I have no idea how to fucking... Hold on. Oh, okay. Okay. Let's see what these levels are like. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the CWL Atlanta Pool Play Reveal. Maven here, joined by Courage. How you doing, buddy?
Oh, I'm fantastic. So much to look forward to in the world of Call of Duty. Just got back from London.
Yep.
A couple days ago, I was at the CWL London event where we saw the top 16 teams in Europe battle it out for $25,000. And now next week, we've got the MLG Atlanta, the CWL Atlanta Open.
Yep.
Very exciting.
Huge. Now, so you're going to get what we're breaking down here. We are doing the reveal. The reveal, sorry. The actual
Maven's
draw was
fucking
done by
bold.
the MLG Columbus League Ops team earlier this week. Let's take a look at the 16 teams here as we break it down. Let's first look at our 6 from EU.
Maven's gone fucking bold.
Jack, break them down.
What is
We
this?
saw all these teams participate at the
Livid.
CWL London event. At Gfinity, Splice, and Orbit were your 2 teams in the grand finals.
Yep.
Orbit actually takes that in 2 best-of-5s, but Splice, because of their incredible performance in the online 2Ks, wind up holding on to that first-place spot. Remember, this is pro points that these teams have accumulated up to this point in their Infinite Warfare season. Elevate, who actually placed 3rd at the CWL London event, followed by Infused, Team 3G, and Fnatic. Fnatic now back in Call of Duty. Tommy representing that team.
All right, we'll also then go ahead and look
Fucking
at the 10
Fnatic.
from North America. Now, this is probably going to be the scariest pools that we've ever seen. Just when you take a look at the 16 teams that are going to be in this.
This is gonna be
if you had to
fucked.
pick maybe a handful here from the North American side that you're really interested to see where they're placed, who stands out for you?
Well,
So Killer's
obviously,
team
we
is
saw
not in.
Rise Nation to Cloud9 for a second in that backdrop
Yeah.
because we know where they are automatically, but teams I'm watching out for. United, can they perform well on LAN after their strong online performance? Team Envious now looking back in the gear, in the zone after their little hiatus during Apathy's wedding. And then Enigma 6, who got to the pools at Vegas, wound up going 3-0 there, but then failed a little bit in the bracket play in their rematch versus Optic Gaming. So much talent, though, in these 16 teams. Another big thing to watch out for as we bring back up our overall group graphic. At the bottom here, you see open bracket teams will still fill in. So in the past, if you're wondering,
What is with
who's
their
these
shitty
teams
mic
there?
quality?
Well, yes, 3 teams and then the open bracket team. Well, now there's 4 teams and the open bracket team. This is how it'll all play on out.
Yeah, let's talk about this. So we mentioned that the League Ops team did the actual draw. This is kind of the rules it was based on. So you saw the 4 teams already filled in, 1 for each pool. That's your number 1 and number 2 teams from North America and your number 1 and number 2 from Europe. Now, when you take a look at it, the second slot is going to be a random draw for the 3 through 5 spot for North American team and the number 3 EU team, 6 through 8 for North America, and the number 4 then for the 3rd slot, and then the 9th and 10th from North America, 5 and 6 EU, and again, random draws for the ones where you see the open slots there. But this is going to be a lot of fun. First, let's talk a little bit about the teams that have already been placed here. Let's talk a little about Rise Nation, what you expect from them. And what have you seen from this team that's impressed you thus far?
Well, obviously, there are Vegas champions, which earns them a ton of pro points, gets them that first place spot in the pro points ladder. Then online performances haven't really matched up to what we saw at Vegas. Obviously, we know Aqua Online in the past hasn't always been the most successful player. They only get 1 top 8 performance in the online 2K. So Cloud9 was closing in on them, but thankfully for Rise Nation, they do keep that first place spot going into the CWL Atlanta Open. My eyes are on Ascento. Can he match the performance that we saw at
I mean,
Vegas?
Looney always
MVP
wins the
there,
first
yeah,
event of
He
every
was
year anyway.
Incredible. And then moving on, let's talk about Pool B. Then it's going to be Splice. So this
Or
Splice
one of the
roster,
first
you got
events
to
of the
watch them
year.
a lot at
My
CWL
bad.
London,
It's normally
tapped
X.
them a bit. The expectations for them were, top 2, them, Orbit. Who's going to be the top team? What'd you like?
The good thing for Splice is they've already gotten a full weekend of matches, 4 days worth of matches on LAN in the current meta with the updated
Yeah,
patch.
it's true,
They're used
it's
to
true.
not having an OSA in play.
True.
Obviously, you talk about how Josh with the ERAD was running all around.
Fuck are those headsets they're
Some of the top
using?
communication, in my opinion, in Europe. Also, 2 COD champs runners-up from 2016 on this lineup. Do not count out Splice.
And then your
Let's have
top
a
team
quick look
in
at the chat. Oh.
Pool C is going to be Cloud9. So the Aches-led squad, they get such a strong finish at Vegas. They look to be the top team. You have the veteran, you have S&D players, you have sort of your, I guess, top up-and-comers kind of in Lacefield and Assault.
Yes.
How do you feel about this team coming into Atlanta?
I want to see them keep that fire that they had. Look at all these shots from Vegas. These guys were so into it. Aches and crew getting to that grand finals, but just falling short. They absolutely have what it takes to win these major events. They just cannot stop grinding.
Stop calling them
Salt and
majors.
Lacefield have two great leaders in Ricky and Aches to really help carry this team to a potential land victory at the CWL Atlanta Open.
Yeah, and there's been a lot
This
of
is still a
trash talk in
thing.
North America and EU, a lot of it led by Aches. That's one of the big storylines kind of really for this year, as you saw EU kind of catch up last year. Well, how's that going to play out? This is a pool I'm certainly interested in. And then finally, Pool D. Orbit, who many consider the top team, even though they come in as the number 2 seed from Europe.
Yep.
They look really good in London, right?
They look great. Again, the other half of that old Splice team from Champs. Ton of slaying power as long as they can wind up keeping themselves level-headed.
Yeah.
This is a team to definitely watch out for in Pool D.
All right, well, let's get into it. Let's start the reveal. So we're going to kick it off with Pool A, who is going to be the second team now to come in and join Rise Nation. FaZe.
Fuck me, all right.
Started off strong. Rise Nation and FaZe Clan in Pool A. FaZe starts off the year with that victory at PSX.
I can't fucking wait for that
On the grind.
match.
This team wants to win more than ever before. Remember, they were close at Vegas.
That'll be the last match on
Security.
stream for the
We
first
have to
day.
talk
I'm
about
calling
how
it
the
now.
meta has now shifted, though. ERAD's coming into play. You have to think that that helps this FaZe team with the likes of Zuma and
Let's play
Attack.
fast.
Absolutely. It's what started them off in Advanced Warfare, and now it's coming full circle in Infinite Warfare. FaZe with Rise Nation now in this pool, scary already.
Yeah, this is looking terrifying to kick things off, but we've got a lot of teams to get through and a lot of pools to cover. So let's move it on to Pool B. Who is going to be joining Splice here? Top dogs of EU. Optic Gaming, back-to-back FaZe and Optic coming off the board quickly.
Optic Gaming going up against arguably the top team in Europe. Yes, Splice, they did it first, but
Okay.
second best of 5 there. Optic, not the performance they wanted at Vegas, but I can assure you they have practiced much more coming into this event. They've been scrimming almost
Now
every
that-
single night. Scump back on the stream.
That's an
grind.
interesting match.
These guys, after
versus
everything
Splice.
they've won, are
That's
still hungry
dangerous,
for
actually, for them.
championships. And now with Splice in this group, talk about something that's tough for the European teams because they're going to have to go up against Optic Gaming. And now you're looking at this and say, well, you want to prove that EU are still a region to be talked about, that weren't overhyped last year. Here's a great chance to prove it with Splice and Pool B.
You kind of feel like the EU teams have to perform here in Atlanta.
Yes.
Like there's been so much talk, so much chatter. Put up or shut up. You have to perform here. All right, well, let's keep it going. Pool C now. Who's
It's
going to be
rigged. Why are
joining
people
Aches
not
and
drawing?
Cloud9? It's going to be Elevate. So there you go. You see, there's been a lot of trash talk. Reedy, Aches, you've seen it blow up on social media. They both have very strong thoughts about where I guess each other's
It's not
legacy
rigged.
currently sits in the
What?
echelon. This is amazing.
Oh, absolutely. Elevate. They placed top 3 this past weekend in the CWL London event out there in Europe. Things to point out, looked very strong in hardpoint up until they faced the other top hardpoint teams in Orbit and Splice. That's where they really began to falter. That worries me when going up against
Elevate aren't. I
Team
watched the
Guards
London
can be
event.
very
Elevate
dangerous in
aren't
the game
bad.
mode.
They're
Yeah.
just.
The key to success for this team, Reedy.
Thing about Elevate is that they're like that team that's sort of. How do I explain? It's like Complexity, right? They're sort of the team that will destroy any of the low end squads, but as soon as they start playing anyone in like the top 5, top 6, they'll get like their asses handed to. They might win the S&Ds, but that's about it.
There's been a
They
lot
can't
of
win
talk about
Respawn.
it. There's a lot of expectations.
And I talked about this with Brycing this past weekend. I said, Bryce, I think United could potentially beat any team in Europe.
So we got a United in D as well.
United is matching with Orbit in the pools. Orbit, who won that last European event, sets a storyline for a team. Well, guess what? Prove now that not only people are saying that they're a mid-tier NA team. If they beat Orbit, what does that say about EU?
Exactly. There is so much to prove. I mean, there's more pressure. Well, I don't know. Is there more pressure on EU or NA? I'm not really sure because there's been so much trash talk from both sides. It's really exciting stuff. But let's keep it going.
There really hasn't been any trash
Who
talk
is gonna join the
from EU
scariest
to
kick
NA. I
things
don't know
off
what
in
they're
Rise
fucking
and
talking
FaZe?
about.
Our third team there for Pool A is
Infused.
Infused.
Ah,
Talking
that's
about Infused, you got to spend some
that's
time with them.
unfortunate for
Yeah,
Marky B.
A long history, I should say, against these North American squad. He's no stranger.
I mean,
having
to
to
be
face
fair,
very strong opponents. In the
last time
FaZe
FaZe
clan,
played
Rise
Infused,
Nation,
they lost.
and
It was a
also
Black
this
Ops
team
3
kind of the
event.
up-and-coming talent that you want to really see grow. My one
I'm gonna
big
type that in
worry
chat.
is Moose, who went off at Gfinity had the best numbers across anybody.
Facinto of the EU side, like he was crushing.
Was crushing with Synaptic. As you all know, announced this past week, Synaptic now out of the rule set, not going to be played with at the CWL Atlanta Open. Can he match that performance now?
Oh, it's true, yeah, the skinny bot's gone. The Synaptic rig. Oh, there goes my headset. Give me a second.
Some changes coming in before this.
Yeah, it got taken out.
All right, now,
Oh
Pool B,
shit,
the
I
third
forgot about
team,
this.
Going to be joining Splice and Optic Gaming. Who's
have a
gonna
look.
put the green walk to the test? It's Mochila and Allegiance.
Allegiance, the squad that gets 4th at Vegas.
Allegiance.
Surprised a lot of people there.
They're not. They're not a very good
I don't
squad.
know if I'm a believer yet. I don't know if they can match that. When it came to online, it's no secret they were vocal about it. We were not as good of a team online. We struggled in that respect. Thankfully for them, they were able to keep their spot in the pools because it was getting scary there for a minute. The fire is still there with this team, and they absolutely have some playmakers. But when you look at this pool now, Splice and Optic Gaming, this is going to be a tall order for Allegiance if they want to not only get out of pools, but in the top 2.
I want to see this team do well. I've been a fan of Royalty since the beginning. I just don't know. A finish like top 4 again would really, really surprise me. Okay, let's keep it going. Pool C, you've got Cloud9, you've got Elevate.
100
storylines,
Thieves.
Rivalries for days already kind of set up in this. Who's going to be the next to join us with these two
LG.
Luminosity. So we've talked a lot about Luminosity. As
Saints is
talent.
fat.
I think they've got what it takes. I think they're going to bring it together, but there's a lot of doubters.
Saints Octane slacked and
Warfare.
who's their
Too
4th?
impressed. The big worry for me is the trio.
Havoc?
Octane, Slacked, and Classic.
Oh,
It's
classic.
just now a mental thing for them. They started and were so successful at the beginning of the CWL last year, and then since then it's all slowly gone downhill. It's been almost a year since our last major event win. Can this trio get through this mental block and get back on top? Or could this be one of the last few events we see with these guys as a lineup? On paper, they have almost more slaying power than anybody in the world, but does it transfer over to their gameplay in this Pool C?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I still have faith in them. I think they can surprise you with like a top 3 finish.
Yep.
They have, again, like you said, a lot of that lineup from Black Ops 3, but I don't know. We'll see what they can do. But now, who will be the third team for Pool D? It's going to be Orbit and E United that will have to stand the test versus our champs from Black Ops 3, Team Envious.
Team Envious, they're back on the grind. It was scary for a bit there. You saw some tweets from JCap and Apathy and Slasher.
That's not
They've
true.
never been more stressed about COD, and these guys won champs.
So are they in championship form again for you?
Well, they just win one of the online 2Ks.
True.
They're now scrimming every single night. They decided to scrim, really overplay for those pro points in the online ladders. We'll see if it pays off for them here. A very winnable pool, in my opinion, though, down here in Pool D with E United and Orbit. Some interesting storylines there. E United, everyone talking about, how good are they going to perform on LAN? Well, now they get their chance up against that previous COD champs team in Envy. And then you also talk about that they're facing Orbit, and half that Orbit squad played against Envy in the COD Champs Grand Finals.
It's
A lot
rigged
of
for
storylines
Envy.
there, and
Doesn't
before
make
we
any
move into
sense.
finalizing these pools and talking about that, I want to make sure everyone remembers there is also these open bracket teams that could come into play.
True.
Still some absolute talent down there. Red Reserve, Echo Fox, Drama and Crew.
Yeah.
You need to realize already we're seeing some pools of death. And there's only more talent that's going to come in. Also, share your thoughts on social media, on Twitter, get on Reddit. I want to see what you guys are saying because this could be the most stacked pool play we have ever seen in the history of Call of Duty.
Without question. And so, just notes real quick before we go to the final spot. You got to think Pool A, you get the hardest in from the second slot with FaZe Clan.
Oh, God.
Through the third slot, I think Envy probably in Pool D is the scariest one that you're going to draw. So far, some surprises, and they do look intense, but let's go through again. Now, Pool A, the 4th team to round things out with Rise, FaZe, and Fuse is going to be Enigma 6.
Oh, okay. Okay. That is mad. That's a mad pool. Yeah, ripping Fuse.
3-0 there. They wind up beating Optic Gaming in that basket, and they look incredible. But then you wind up transferring into the bracket. They lose their rematch there, and they don't finish at the top performance they would have liked. But you cannot question the dedication of this team, their drive and want to win. They are true competitors, and it's seen that they will do anything they can to make that happen.
Well, we saw a change, obviously, with some restrictions here. The OSA now being restricted in the CWL rules. They were big. Ran like 4 of them at times. They were very, very strong with it. Got to see if that kind of changes thing and what we're going to expect there from them in Pool A. Let's go over to Pool B. So Splice, Optic Gaming, Allegiance. Who is going to jump into Pool B with them? EG and your best buddy Nagafen.
Oh gosh, this is a tough draw now for EG. This team, I would say, one of my most disappointing so far in Infinite Warfare.
I can see that.
They've been missing their true identity. Everyone thought these were going to be the search and destroy gods
That
would
Havoc?
never lose the game mode.
Yeah.
And they've been a little inconsistent in it. They need a lot of work in
Nameless
respawns,
fan.
and I know that they've been putting in the time. My biggest worry with them in the past was their communication in game. I would watch almost every one of their scrims, and if the littlest thing went wrong, they began to bicker about it, they began to get in little arguments about it, and it kind of threw them off their central focus of the game.
Yeah.
If they've got all that fixed, they can absolutely come in the top 2 in this pool, but with Allegiance, with Splice, and then Optic Gaming all sitting there, EG have their hands full.
They really, really do. It's going to be a tough test for them to get top 8 with how stacked these pools are so far. Now, on to Pool C. You've got Cloud9, Elevate, Luminosity. Who is going to be the 4th team to round out the pool? It's Team 3G. So, more European talent.
That is the easiest pool.
Yeah, right.
You got back up what you were saying, right?
Eggs talking all that trash about the EU squads. If they're as strong as people say they are, well, now they've got Elevate as well as Team 3G in here. Team 3G, this is a big event for them because obviously they're led by Quicker, and they had some very strong moments at the CWL London event, but they don't have an organization right now. And if they prove themselves this weekend in Pool C, if they wind up making it into that championship bracket, going on a run with the league on the horizon, with their push in Europe, they could very well see a big organization come in, scoop them up, and there's their salary. There's their payday.
And, it's funny because Aches made a comment to me the other day. He's like, there were some comments about the current seeding, how the rules were going to break down for the actual draw. And he said, I just don't want to see, a European team get a freebie because you've heard how strong he is about it. Yeah. Your best chance right now is probably your pool, buddy, for a European team to come out. I mean, it is not going to be an easy run for any of them. We could technically maybe see not a single European team making it out of groups with how stacked these are.
Yeah.
Best chance might be C. But let's now hop over to D. It's going to be Orbit, E United, the Black Ops 3 champs, and the Envious, who will round out Group D. That is going to be Fnatic, the Tommy-led team.
Yes, Fnatic now back in Call of Duty. Exciting to see. Fnatic, they didn't have the best
Rip
performance at the
Fnatic.
CWL London event. They wound up dropping a series in group play to Infuse, then they go into the bracket and get swept right on out. Tough loss to Aware there. This team has a lot of potential, though. That was the number one thing. If they go and look back at their film, they can learn a lot. Also, Luskin, the brother of Scraps, who now joins his team when after they were scrimming with Swanee, they wound up picking up Luskin. He needs to step up big time. Alongside his brother, they need that slaying power there. This is, I think, Luskin's 2nd event ever. First time traveling to Europe, to NA to compete. Talk about the pressure that's on his shoulders. Now in the group with best team in Europe, Orbit, E United, one of the most up-and-coming teams in North America, and then COD champs, winners.
I still think Splice is the best team in the
It's
EU.
going to be tough, but there you have it. Now let's kind of talk a little bit of storylines and break down each pool. Let's start off with Pool A, so you guys can kind of get a full-screen look at what we're talking about. So Pool A, you'll have your open bracket team that's going to be joining Rise Nation, FaZe Clan, Infused, and Enigma 6. As easy as it would be to say, hey, this is Rise and FaZe's group, number 1 and number 3 in NA, you could see Enigma 6 making a little noise, right?
Oh, for sure. I think that this is absolutely tough for Infused, but Enigma 6 can play spoiler here 100%. Don't forget,
To be honest, when I think about it,
their Vegas event last time,
if Optic want to win this event, all they really have to do is beat Splice.
now they have a chance to
It's
start
true.
out
Someone said that in the chat a minute ago.
Either way, Enigma
All they've
6
got to do
along
is
the stream,
beat
facing top
Splice,
team and
come
giving
out
them
come out of that pool in
You
the
look at
in the
Rise
top
Nation,
2.
Oh, they've just been quiet as of late. Yes, that's online. They've always shown up on
Thing is, if they come second, they'll play someone who won their pool.
Enigma 6, I mean, if
So
you
they
just
might
started
play
watching Call of Duty
sort of
last year,
Rise, FaZe,
these guys didn't
Envy.
just appear out of nowhere. I mean,
or
they were making
Cloud9.
noise all the way back in Advanced Warfare. They weren't 18 yet, couldn't play in the CWL last year, but now they're back and they're getting things done. Well, let's take a look now at Pool B. Break it down, talk about some of the key teams, maybe who we think is going to come out of this one. Splice, Optic, Allegiance, and Evil Geniuses.
Wow.
Is this Optic Gaming's group?
You have to favor them here with Splice alongside Allegiance and EG. Allegiance, for me, this is their chance to prove that they're still that top 4 team that we saw at the first event of the year. Allegiance are very confident in themselves. They signed a year-long contract with this organization. They're ready
Is
to put
that-
in the time and prove that.
is that
they
actually
deserve to be one of
Zuma?
the top in North America, but
That is actually
this group,
Zuma.
Splice for me are on Splice.
He called someone a
To the
pussy. in the
CWL London
chat.
event with the number 1 seed, they finished 2nd. They now come into this event with the number 1 seed from Europe. Imagine they just get slaughtered in this group, and they're supposed to be one of your top EU teams, and they can't even show up in pools. That would be real hurtful for EU.
Yeah, there are 2 big stories for me. E United being one for North America, which we'll talk about a little bit later, and then 2, just Europe. Do they show up? Do they make it out of pools? Is there at least a couple finishing in the top 8? I mean, as scary as these look, there's a chance none of those things happen. So
Your
we'll
dad's
see
so
how they
safe on.
perform. But now on to
Swanee.
Pool C, led by Cloud9, joined by Elevate, Luminosity, and Team 3G. I mean, this is kind of a battle, I guess, between Elevate and Luminosity for the spot.
Yeah, and please, 3G are a very strong team, but in this pool right now, I'm 100% with you. It's Elevate and Luminosity fighting for this positioning.
No.
Cloud9 and Elevate is the match I'm most excited for.
Oh,
Aches versus
yes.
Reedy. I want to see some trash talk. I want to see
Oh,
all
wait,
sorts of stuff
they are
going
right.
on in
I thought
that
they were saying
series.
it's going to be
Rated and Clay
Elevate
was some
LG
of my
top 2.
favorite trash
It's like,
talk
what?
as they
Shut
were
up.
getting into it a little bit, you know, the kind of countries colliding.
Yeah.
I'd love to see more. I mean, it's going to be exciting stuff.
And this is one, too, where if I'm an open bracket team, I think this is my best chance for an open bracket team to come into pools and have a chance at the
I
top.
was going to ask you that. Interesting. I think I agree with you. Pool C definitely seems like a good shot for you to maybe come in and make a run. All right, on to Pool D. Top of the group is going to be Orbit, your victors at the CWL London event. E-United, Team Envious, Fnatic rounded out. I mean, all eyes for me are on E-United.
Yes.
Similar storyline kind of to EU like we talked about. Put up or shut up.
You could put all sorts of storylines in here. Orbit, do they match their performance in Europe now in North America?
Yep.
United, are they as good on land as they are online? Envy, are they back or are they still struggling with their slow start in Infinite Warfare? And Fnatic, the team that has a lot of potential, but it's almost like there's a ticking clock on this squad because if they really don't step up, how long is Fnatic invested for? How long is this team invested in each other for as players before Tommy says, you know what? I'm going to join some other veterans and make something happen.
Well, we're here for one thing, and that is CWL Atlanta, guys. $200,000 on the line. It's going to be a heck of a lot of fun. We are pumped for the event. But that's going to do it for us. Jack, get us out of here, buddy.
Fucking magic. Okay. But it's next Friday, is it? Yeah. Alright. Prediction video probably soon.